Hello Internet, and today's video is going to be another Top 5 Wednesday. This has a Goodreads group run by Sam over at Thoughts and Tomes. Both links are down below for your perusal. So today's topic is middle grade books to read as an adult. I am an adult. I read a lot of middle grade books. I don't believe in age boundaries and specific target audiences because I will literally consume anything that I find even least bit interesting. I read middle grade books, I read children books, I read YA, I read adult. It's the same for my media consumption as well. I can be found days watching cartoons because cartoons are fun. You can't shame me out of liking cartoons, okay? So these are books that I have read as an adult that I like. I know that I do like middle grade, even very targeted, specific middle grade, but these are ones that I think will translate well to adults who are not traditionally in the mindset of middle grade, do not traditionally read middle grade, but they're very good stories that I think most people could enjoy, no matter the age that you are. So let's get into these books. First, I'm gonna mention Coraline by Neil Gaiman. This is just a fantastic book. This is a 10th anniversary edition with illustrations by Chris Riddell. The illustrations are marvelous. This book is fabulous. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys probably have already watched the Tim Burton produced movie. It was good. The book is just as good. It is a fantastic book. So if you've been living under a rock and have no idea what Coraline is about, it is about a young girl named Coraline. Her and her family move into a flat that is a part of a larger house that they inherited from one of Coraline's dead relatives, I believe her grandmother. In this flat there is a door that is bricked up, but one day Coraline goes to open it and she finds a tunnel that leads into another world. On the other side of this world is a woman who calls herself the Other Mother, but is properly named the Beldam. This woman is very menacing and is probably not really a woman at all. She's very, very creepy. And it's all about Coraline trying to kind of fight this monster to get her family back and to kind of break free from this other world. She also has this companion that's a cat that talks to her when they're in the other world, and the cat is snarky and hilarious, and I love him. I think it's a him. So I love the cat. It's my favorite, and I like Coraline because she's just a great character, okay? She's a lovely character, and I think you'll really like this book. Definitely pick up this edition with the illustrations because I feel like illustrations just make books better. So I think this translates well to all ages, and you could enjoy this book no matter how old you are. Next is The Cats of Tanglewood Forest by Charles D. Lint, and it's illustrated by Charles Vass. This is a beautiful book, okay? Not only on the inside, but on the outside. Like, when it says illustrated, I mean, it is chock full of illustration. Like, here's the cover, right? Here's the naked cover. We got full pages like this. We got chapter headers, illustrations in the middle of pages. Like, there are so many illustrations in this book. It is just beautiful. So this is a book about a young girl who lives on a farm very close to a forest. She ends up going into the forest one day, taking a nap, and waking up as a kitten. She really wants to get back home to her auntie, who she really, really loves, but to do so she has to go on some adventures to turn her back into a human and make sure that she ends up in the right universe. And it's very, very beautiful. It has a lot of American indigenous people culture in it, so there are a lot of parts like that where it just has a magical realism feel to it. It very much stems on the basis of, like, what if all of the myths that indigenous people talk about and their legends and stuff really existed, really that was the real world we lived in. So we have a lot of awesome things like that. I think one of my favorite characters in this is a fox because he is just hilarious, and I love that the depiction of a fox in this book is not him being evil, because I don't know why being clever is something equated to being evil. Are they evil because they're smarter than you? Because I feel like you're just being pretty pathetic. Like, I don't know, but foxes are great and people need to stop being mean to them. So this is a book I think is just beautiful. You'll really be entranced by the story. It's just such a nice story. It's such beautiful artwork. So if you like really, really beautiful books, I suggest you try picking up this one. Book number 3 is Night School by Shilvanta Shavaka. I have no idea. This is the Worm book series. This I think counts as middle grade because I bought it in middle grade. Like, I bought this book at one of those book fairs. You remember those? Those were a lot of fun. This is about a young girl who has sort of a curse on her that she really can't get emotionally involved with other people with like sort of bad luck happening. Her sister goes missing, and her sister is the only one who really knows about her. And when I say her sister goes missing, her sister like winks out of the universe. Like, no one remembers her. No one ever thinks she existed. She just no longer exists. So this young girl is trying to figure out where her sister has gone. Her sister works at the night school, which is a school for all sorts of supernatural creatures. So she ends up trying to investigate herself to try to figure out what's going on and where her sister went. It is very, very beautiful. It is a manga. So it's a manga, right? So it's very, very beautiful. It's very, very fun. It's funny at times. It can be mysterious. And if you just like things with supernatural feels, I think you could enjoy this because it's just good. So why wouldn't you enjoy something that's good? So next comes a book I've talked a lot about in recent videos, and that is Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. So this is the first book in this series. I think this book really, really does translate well. I think even if you don't traditionally read middle grade, you will definitely most likely love this book. It does so well. The world is fantastic. The characters are really, really good and relatable, even though they are younger ones. So this follows a young girl called Morgana Crow. In her state, she is counted as a cursed child. And to escape the fate that she is going to receive as a cursed child, she ends up running away with a dude who comes to save her to a sort of more magical place called Nevermore, where things that she sort of thought were myths or legends or she's only heard about happening really far away from her are suddenly all up in her face, and she's just taking in this new world. To stay in Nevermore, she must get into an elite school that only has a few spots, and to get into the school, she has to do like a bunch of tasks to prove that she's worthy to be an elite member of an elite school and that she can stay in Nevermore. I really, really love her as a character. I love the world that we're introduced to. It's very, very magical. Like, once you see it, you're just like, wow, I want to be there. Like, I want to see these things she's seeing. And I'm really hoping in other books we get more experiences like that, because like the experiences we do get are marvelous, but you're just like, you gotta give me more because this world sounds so good. So I highly suggest this one. So the next one I'm going to mention is one that I'm not quite sure everyone's going to love, but it's something that I love, so I'm going to recommend it because I feel like more people should talk about this series, so I'm going to talk about it now. And that is The King Chronicles by Rick Riordan, and this is the first book, The Red Pyramid. The King Chronicles is my favorite Rick Riordan book because it is the one I connect most to. So this, as you know, Rick Riordan usually tends to write books that have mythology put in place. His biggest series cover Greek mythology. He has a new one that covers Norse mythology, but this is one of his older series. This came soon after the first Percy Jackson series, and this is about a young brother-sister team, and they start to discover more about Egyptian gods. So it does have a lot of Egyptian mythology, a lot of like Egyptian legends and stuff in place. One of my favorite things about this book, and one of the things I connected most with, was one, the siblings weren't raised together. Me and my siblings were separated a lot as kids, so I definitely understand just kind of trying to gauge your siblings once you guys start living together again, when you've had a couple years of your lives that you remember being apart, and also that this is an interracial family, so they're They're siblings by blood, but Sadie looks more Caucasian and her brother Carter looks more black. So they have to deal with a lot of like sort of people kind of questioning them and looking at them because they don't look like siblings. And that was something that just really resonated with me because my family is mixed and me and my siblings, we're like a whole shade and a half. And we don't look like we're related at first glance, especially in America, because everything is very like race segregated with families. Like sometimes I'm just looking and I'm just like, yeah, this is my brother by blood. You surprised? Because I'm not. But it is something that I grew up a lot with. Like whenever me and my siblings would travel together, especially in American airports, they would be like, oh, these kids are together, they're a family. And it's just like, that was something that I like seeing how they had to deal with the rest of the world with that. And just, we're like, guys, yeah, we're related, we have the same mom and dad, like we're not adopted, we're family. So I liked those parts of the book. It just really connected with me. I think this is a really good time. I really liked learning about Egyptian culture. It wasn't something I was as familiar with as I was with Greek culture, so every little instance in which it mentioned something new and interesting, I was so excited to always go look it up. So I'm not quite certain this is so much a book that adults will love reading if you don't already love middle grade, but it definitely had some themes in there that as a kid I really needed to read, and as an adult I'm really happy exist in a book, and I do think it's very entertaining. So I think anyone could read it and potentially love it if it fits into your type of thing. So there we go. So those are all the books I would suggest that you read as an adult that fall into this category of middle grade. I love reading all sorts of books, and I just consume everything that I find interesting, no matter who it was targeted towards. So this ends up with me having a pretty wide reading range. I try to keep in mind that other people don't have like that same reading range that I do at times. So I really do think the majority of these books you can read even if you don't really like middle grade traditionally, or you've kind of moved away from it. I think these are books that you can enjoy and have a good time with. Even if they don't become your new favorites, I definitely think give them a shot because you might actually be surprised. And don't be one of those people who talks down to things produced for younger audiences. Don't be that person. Like, I'm not going to get up on a soapbox or anything, but just don't be that person, okay? Don't. Because, no. So if you like what you're seeing here and you want to continue to see more, click all those bunnies down below, and goodbye, Internet.